All right, we're gonna do elbow pronation, Pails rails. So the idea with this is we're really just gonna utilize the dowel, and I'm gonna grip it in the side that we're actually working on. Now, two caveats to keep in mind when we're doing this is we're gonna, think about keeping the elbow tucked in towards our chest wall. This is gonna help avoid kind of any undue compensations from the shoulder or anywhere else in the body, and making sure that basically the pronation supination is coming from the elbow as much as we can. And then, from our grip, we're gonna make sure that we basically have this kind of open kind of grip that, my thumb is in line with the dowel. So, the idea is whenever we're starting to, change the range of motion, we're gonna minimize the effect of, range of motion coming from the wrist versus from the forearm and the elbow. So I'm gonna get in my start position, elbows tucked, and my grip is set. I'm gonna rotate the dowel to its max, pronated position that I can, okay? So once I'm here, I'm gonna take this other hand and I'm gonna give a little bit of overpressure into the dowel until I can kind of find that in range. Once I'm in my in range, I'm gonna start my timer for 2 minutes. I'm gonna breathe diaphragmatically, in through my nose, out through my mouth, rest and digest. So we're allowing, all the tissue, all the fascia, the muscles, connective tissue, everything to kind of elongate over time. Once I'm ready to initiate my contraction, my first contraction is going to be thinking about pushing the dowel up into the ceiling. So I'm pushing into my hand, trying to flatten it back out, and I'm going 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, max effort. Push as hard as you comfortably can. Once you find that intensity, you're gonna hold it for 15 seconds, and then you're gonna ramp back down to 0. So we're going 80, 60, 40, 20, 0, not just completely collapsing. Now my second contraction, my rails contraction, I'm thinking about pulling the dowel off my hand. So now I'm thinking about ramping up contraction to pull even further down to the floor. Max effort as hard as I can. 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% max effort. Now once you reach your max intensity, you're gonna hold that for 15 seconds, and then you're gonna, start to collapse back down to 0, ramp back down to 0. Now before you start to ramp back down to 0, I would use my guide hand and recapture this new range, because this is the additional range we've acquired, and you're gonna start your second pass in this new range. So second pass is gonna be 1 minute diaphragmatic breathing in this new position, and then we're gonna initiate our Pails rails contraction for the same intensity, same amount of time, second pass.